Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 243. It is Wednesday here in Cincinnati. It's gorgeous. We had all of the rain yesterday move through, and then today woke up and we have blue skies and sunshine. I think we have temperatures in the 80s and sunshine for like the next week, the next 5 or 6 days. It's so good. It's so good. It feels beautiful outside. When I went for my run this morning, I left early. It was a little before 7, and when I got to the top of that hill that I talked about on, I think it was Monday, when I talked about the fog, I got to the top of the hill, and I looked all around me, and the entire area was fog, which, here's why it's funny. When I ran on Monday and I was looking at that fog, it was just a little bit, and so the title of the podcast was Clearing the Fog, which I thought was appropriate because there was some fog and we were clearing it. And then today I got to the top of the hill and it was like 10 times as much fog. And I just started laughing. I'm like, did we clear it? Is there anything cleared? Where did all the fog come from? We're just going to keep getting more fog. Maybe that podcast wasn't even like guiding us into anything, because here's the fog right back again. I just love how the earth just laughs at us when we think that we know something. She flips it all upside down and reminds us we don't know anything at all. So here is what came up for me when I was looking at all the fog. I took a picture, and then later when I was running, I was more fascinated with how the sun looked up in the sky with all this fog around it. So that's the picture I'm going to share. There was a lot of fog, and it hadn't cleared by the time I came home. It had lifted a little bit, but it was sitting around. I don't know why I find that funny, but what I wanted to share was when I was looking at the weather doing exactly what it had done a couple days ago, and even more so, there's this feeling inside of me that I'm going to share, that I'm sure many of you have a match to, and that also has been coming up in conversations with clients and friends. So it feels relevant to bring it forward here and then see where it applies in your life. When I was feeling all this fog around me and knowing, wait, like we just worked on clearing it on Monday. Why are we back in this fog again on Wednesday? It's only been a day or 2 days. The words or messages that came forward were just in this sort of stop, go, push, pull, back, forth space right now. You know, we've called it the space in between in other podcasts because we've been here before, and that feels true. It's like the motor is catching a little bit, and we know that we're going to be going forward, but then we're hitting the brake and moving backwards a little bit and going forward and moving back, and it's this stop-go feeling. Why that feels important to name at this time is because there is such guidance and wisdom for us through astrology with what is happening in the planets and the energy around us. And when we can pay attention to it and allow that information to guide us, it makes the stop-start not feel so stressful. It's understandable, and we can be kinder and more forgiving to ourselves so that we aren't trying to force through something that perhaps doesn't want to move through us yet. The new moon in Leo is tonight in the evening, late in the evening. And then I believe Mercury goes direct tomorrow or the next day. And I don't really know how all the other retrogrades are aligning, but they are. And the eclipse season apparently is ending. And there's a lot happening in the universe outside of this tiny little blue planet that we know of as Earth. And yet here we are, feeling the intensity, feeling the squeeze, feeling this sense of, what am I doing? Am I going forward? Am I going backward? Am I stopping? Am I supposed to create? Am I not supposed to create? What is happening? So let's explore solutions or possibilities or even explanations. When our mind has something to work with, to understand, to puzzle through, then the energy we can align with the energy instead of resisting or pushing against it. And so I'll give you a few little nuggets for your mind to ponder on and see where it takes you. When you think of someone who's sitting in a car, for example, and they want to go forwards, they've got their foot on the gas, but the other part of them is afraid, and so they've got their foot on the brake, and so they're pushing both at the same time. What you're going to hear is the engine revving, but the car's not going to go anywhere. If you slip either foot just a little bit, you might jerk forward or jerk backwards. The gas might move you just an inch or two ahead, and then the brake slamming on will throw you backwards. So there might be these moments of force or massive momentum where you feel like you went forward really fast and then you got thrown back really fast. There may mostly just be this sense of frustration and the engines being revved too high. So imagine that, or feel what that would be like if you know how to drive a car and you've sat in that place where sometimes a stick shift is perhaps the best example too, where you have to find that point of friction between the stick shift and the gas, or else the car is just going to turn off. For those of us who know the old-fashioned cars that have stick shifts, it'll just turn itself off. It'll choke. But if you have your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time and you're pushing both of them, the brake is going to do its work more so than the gas. The brake is designed to hold that car in position no matter how much you're pushing on the gas. And so what you're going to do is burn out the motor, stress out the entire car, and feel the tension in your body as you're pushing both of them so hard, knowing you're not going anywhere. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. It's so bad for the machine. So imagine how that plays out in your physical body when energetically you're feeling some momentum, but you're also at the same time feeling the resistance. Your whole nervous system, your adrenals get taxed because your mind is just revving, trying to figure out what to do and where to go and how to make it work. In contrast to that, the first choice perhaps would be take your foot off the gas and just relax into the brake. Just relax into the brake. It's okay. If you're not going anywhere right now, it's okay. It's okay if this is a time where pausing is what your spirit needs to get recentered, refocused, so that when all of these planets are shifting and moving and the momentum carries us, right, we can pop forward and go into exactly wherever we're most wanting to go. There's a permission that we give ourselves to take our foot off the gas, to trust that what most serves is to have our foot on the brake for a moment and catch our breath and look around us and see what's actually happening, what's happening energetically, what's happening in our world, our relationships, our health, what's happening when our foot's on the brake or we put the car in park. There's pause, there's space to be aware, to be present, instead of all of our attention being focused on this friction between gas and brake. So perhaps that is what is most needed for you at this time. Here we are in a new moon in Leo, and I can feel for myself there's this momentum of Leo. Oh, it's about being bigger and taking action and being brave and doing something. The Leo, the lion, I feel like I've got to go do. I've got to be busy. And yet the new moon is about experiencing something intentionally, creating a new beginning with intention, with purpose. And with all the energy from this eclipse season and all the planets that have been doing their thing, we may need a moment to pause, to stop, to become intentional. to get really clear on, I don't even know what I want to be brave about. I don't even know what I'd want to be visible about. What sort of lion do I want to be? We don't know that if we've been so busy holding the tension between stop and go. We may not have any idea about what our intentions or purpose or next steps we would choose for them to be. There's the default. The default is you could hit the gas by accident and jump forward and strain backwards when you hit the brake again. So we can do the reactionary way of moving forward. But that's not the highest possibility for a new moon. The highest possibility is to be really clear and centered and steady and know which way you want to go. So if one option for our minds to muddle over is perhaps to take our foot off the brake or foot off the gas and put our foot firmly on the brake and take a pause and maybe put the car in park. If that's one option, the other option to get rid of this sense of frustration or tension inside of us would be to gently let off the brake and slowly push on the gas so that we just have a little bit of movement. It doesn't have to be a dramatic racing forward 100 miles an hour. It could just be a soft, gentle movement forward without the resistance of the brake. So what does that mean in the physical world? If you already know that you're ready to move forward with something and you're clear on what that thing is that you want to do, and the only thing that has been stopping you from moving into that flow is this inner tension of you've got to put your foot on the brake, you got to be careful, you got to be prepared, you got to make sure that there's no surprises. And so the resistance has been the brake for you. If you were allowed to slowly start pressing the gas and taking your foot off the brake and putting your hands firmly on the wheel and looking in the direction of where you want to move, you can start to have some movement. So feel how that feels in your body. It's when we stop resisting, energy can start to flow. So for me, I can feel like this, it's almost like sunshine or waves of energy coming in through my head and just washing down my body and going all the way down to my foot that is on the gas pedal and powering up that foot and holding it really steady. And so then I can relax my left leg that would have its foot on the brake. Feel the ease that comes into your body when you choose to stop resisting. When you decide, I'm done with the stop, no more stopping, and now it's time to go because I know exactly where I'm going and what it is I want to be doing. And so I'm just going to ease into a really slow movement forward. You can be like the Sunday drivers, as my dad would call them, the slower ones that are just sitting in the right lane, enjoying the scenery and driving slowly on Sunday because they can. You can be one of those drivers that you're just intentionally moving in whatever the direction is that you choose to move. Feel how your body can relax into that because you've decided that the resistance doesn't serve anymore. Either one is perfect. Either one is perfect. Stopping or going. Stopping or going. Pausing or moving forward. The awareness that I bring forward for all of us today is if neither of those are feeling easy or joyful for us, it's because we're trying to do both at the same time. We've got the push-pull resistance inside of us that's keeping us stuck or locked into place. So just choose one or the other. Choose to stop and pause or choose to go. And do either of them slowly and gracefully and intentionally. And then allow your body to relax. Allow your mind to engage in whichever direction you're choosing to go. As Esther Hicks would say, make a decision and make it the right one. Whichever one it is, just choose. Be fully present for it, and then follow where that direction or choice is going to take you, knowing neither one are wrong. So you can't screw it up. You can't screw it up. And then allow your body to recover from the tension you have been holding if you have been feeling that inner tension for a while. So as we move through this shift into Leo with the new moon, my encouragement is really listen to your body. If your body has felt the trauma or the work of all of this stuff emotionally from the eclipse season and planets moving, and there's been a lot. If your body is feeling the effects of that, be really good to your body. Make sure you're drinking lots of water and you're getting as much rest as you need to, and you're finding time to just be still and be with the beauty of this life, that you're eating meals that feel really warm and nourishing to you, that your cravings of your body are being honored. When I've said this to clients before, when we're pregnant, it's so easy to say, well, I have to eat this because the cravings are telling me I need this, so the baby must need it. We all have cravings all the time, and it's because our body is, unless it's an addiction, for example, like sugar, or me, like chocolate, there is a nutritional deficit in our body. There is something that we are missing. And so our body is signaling to us what it craves in order to fill whatever that nutritional need is. So honor what your body is saying to you as you start to make this shift from stop to go. If you're in stop, or if you choose stop, fully stop, odds are you may need more rest. You may need more water. You may need more soothing, so you may need to take baths or just lay on something comfortable and listen to music and not be so busy thinking and doing all the time. If your momentum is forward and you're ready to start going, you may need extra nourishment, extra food, or extra sunshine to boost your movement into Leo. You'll know what it is because your body will tell you. So listen to the cues from your body as you make this shift. And honor what your body needs. It's an incredible partnership, the mind, the body, and the spirit. And when we can be present in this way and listen and act accordingly to the guidance that our own system is giving us, we can create magic. And miracles happen, beautiful creations come through. Yeah, it's going to be a really sweet movement into this new moon in Leo. So I wish you such beautiful spaciousness tonight and into tomorrow. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.